I've been in trains since I was probably about 3 or 4 years old, ever since my grandfather brought me down to the rail yards. And ever since then, I've been strong into the hobby. I did model railroading, and I actually got a part-time job over in Cooperstown, New York as a brakeman. So.
It seems like a little more than a hobby.
Yeah, it's turning into a career for me. Hopefully going to end up with a job in Reading, Pennsylvania. I just got accepted into Johnson County Community College for my conductor certification, so I'm really looking forward to that.
How old are you?
I'm 17. I'll be 18 in June.
Oh my gosh. So you're growing up.
Oh yeah.
It's great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
They're just big machines and they're fascinating. They move a lot of material all over the place. I ride passenger trains whenever I can. Pretty much everywhere. Alaska, Colorado, all over New England.
My dad bought me my first train set when I was 10 months old. And since that time, I was totally enthralled by it, and he used to go around to garage sales and whatever he could because he couldn't afford to buy the new ones. And I ended up with an astounding amount of stuff, and then traded 2 black ones for 1 red one or whatever. So now I have a very extensive collection that's worth many, many times the amount of money that's been put into it.
So you still have that first?
I still have that first train.
How old are you now?
66.
All right. So, all right. Well, congratulations on keeping the collection together.
Yeah.
Started for me. Oh boy, I was probably 5, 6 years old. My cousins lived over in Ashland, small town just outside of Boston, west of Boston, on the B&A. And I remember the old Penn Central Conrail transition era. You know, putting the pennies and the stones on the rails, that sort of thing, and watching the early Amtrak during their creation, you know, coming through and seeing the engines going from the black to the Conrail Big Blue, you know, and yeah, every summer. That's how I got my fascination with them. And then met some great gentlemen like Joe here, and really, you know, like most kids, you get the Tyco set for Christmas, and I had the 4x8 set up in my bedroom, and always dreamt of having a home layout as, you know, as I got older, and which I finally realized now. I've got my own Worcester County terminal that I'm building in my basement. It's based off the Grafton and Upton, which is now back in service. Yeah, it's been a great hobby for me. It's really opened my eyes up when I joined the club, how, you know, as a young boy in the 70s, you didn't realize how big the hobby was and how involved it really was. And then, like I said, I met some great gentlemen at the first club that I joined, the NER out of Bolton. I was just blown away, you know, with the hand-laid track, the hand-laid switches, you know, handmade switches, all the customization to the rolling stock and the power. Yeah, I was just like, I was in. I was like, sign me up.
always loved trains. I first started at a club in Bolton, Mass. And was with them for, I don't know, 25, 30 years. And that club folded, and I went to another club, and now I'm with the Amherst Railway Society, plus I have my own layout. And I also belong to several of my buddies' clubs or layouts.
What do you like about the hobby?
Oh God, I'm an Alco fan. You know what an Alco is?
No.
All right, so an Alco was the American Locomotive Company, okay? And they were one that competed with the other big two, which was GE and General Motors, okay? Or EMD. So I liked I also went to school in New York State, so I'm a big fan of the Delaware and Hudson, all right, which had many Alcos. The Alcos were built in Schenectady, New York. So I actually model a railroad of my own that goes through the Adirondacks and into Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But you know what? I got to do my job. This is what can you see that?
Yeah. We got it.
That's what the group we represent. Okay. And that's our big train show in Springfield. So I'm on the board of directors at the Amherst Railway Society, which is a group in Palmer. And we come to these shows basically to promote our show. And we set up in modules. We have all kinds of different configurations. I got a whole trailer full of modules. The man you were talking to, he took his modules and converted them and made a layout out of them. So, and there's all aspects of the hobby. I also do G-scale, and I also do 7 1/4, which is the ones you ride on.
So these trains that you have, do they run all through your house, or you just got?
Well, the G-scale runs in my backyard. My HO is above my barn. All right, and the 7 1/4 is we're building it and at our club quarters in Palmer. We got a big section there, and we're actually in the midst of putting together the track and everything down. We got to go to a conservation meeting next week. And once they get us approved, we can go out and put this in the ground. And it'll be about 1,500 feet of running track.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's considerable amount.
Yeah, no, it is. It's pretty good. No, there's, you know, on that scale, it's not, because there's some organizations that are even larger. But it is, it's something cool. It's all part of the train world.
I'm Matt Rockwell. I'm the president of the Rutland Railway Association and Rutland Railroad Museum in Center Rutland, Vermont. Here, this is our annual train show, which is a feature of different vendors and model railroad groups, and basically a swap meet and, you know, sale.
How many shows do
you
go to?
I usually go to about 4 or 5, but there are more than that year-round in different areas. And
so obviously you love trains, you love model trains, you love real trains.
Yeah, pretty much ever since I was a little kid, and you know, my late uncle got me into it and just steamrolled from there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So where do you go from here?
Let's see, I guess, well, switching over to digital command control with sound, which is what I've sort of started with here. And okay, what I did for this setup here, I took the track plan from near the Howe Center, or at this time period, the Howe Richardson Scale Company, and I just started putting some of the track work in. And so basically it's a time saver layout for switching purposes, and that I can later incorporate into a larger layout.
When I was a kid, I used to ride to New York City with my brother back and forth a lot by ourselves on the train.
Right.
And that's probably got something to do with it.
Right. Big impression on it?
Oh, yeah. I had a big impression once in the New Haven freight yards down there where my dad put me on a steam engine, and they drove over the ash pit and dropped them, and it scared the heck out of me.
So,
a lot of smoke and cinders flying around.
Do you go to a lot of train shows around, or?
Well, I go to a fair amount of them, yeah. Yeah, that's where all of us in the hobby like to go to train shows, because we like to get other people's used equipment.
Right.
And of course, there's a lot of new stuff as well.
It's a big swap meet.
It's a big swap meet, yeah, where we swap dollars for everything.
Good running into you. Thank you.
All right, sir.